if Villa get Gerrard, I would be looking over my shoulder as a Wolves fan. Hello everybody, welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. Guys, do us a favour, as always, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Scott, it's another Aston Villa video. Now, being Wolves fans, we don't enjoy doing these, but in the sense of fairness, we have to credit them when they're doing well, and it's something that we predicted. I want to get that out there. We predicted this, sadly.
It is, and we are often right. Well, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I think hopefully I will have had a couple of examples there when things didn't go to plan with our predictions, and maybe that's why we're doing the video today. Maybe just purely because we usually, when we can predict something, the exact opposite seems to happen in our last few videos. So Villa, we're basically going to make it to Gerrard go down another game.
Yeah, basically, because we're saying how good Villa are now, you're probably going to get relegated because that's what happens to us. It's like the FPL league. Every time I put a player in, they never score. So that's what's going to happen. Scott, let's dive into it. Gerrard, we said he'd smash it. We'll talk about what he's done around the training ground, his interviews, what he said about Liverpool, his backroom staff. But let's start with the meat of it. 3 wins out of their last 4. 7 goals scored, only 3 conceded, and they've played an informed Palace, a Brighton team that are hard to break down, and they've played Manchester City and Leicester. I mean, it's just take it away.
I mean, to be fair as well, it's a Leicester team that's starting to find a little bit of form again as well. Obviously, they started poorly, but they look like they've sorted that out a little bit. And interestingly, even the game they've lost, 1, it was against Manchester City, and 2, they were very lucky to not come away with a point there. I think the one thing that Gerrard straight away is really, I'm really noticing in the way that he's playing now is the fact that he's got the Villa players rather playing much more pressing football, much more, they're quick on the ball when, obviously they're not in possession to try and retrieve it back. And I think that's something I've noticed every game that I've been watching them since Gerrard has come in. It's had a major impact, I think, and it seems to be working so far.
And he's getting the best out of players that, always give the most for the shirt, but they're finding that little bit of quality again now. I mean, I think Gerrard's unbelievable, but I don't think even in his wildest dreams he thought his centre-back would bag 2 goals at the weekend. So, no. I mean, you've got to get, not luck, but you've got to get things going your own way. But, John McGinn, he's had a very good 2 or 3 games as well. Ollie Watkins, he's starting to find that form even when he's not scoring or maybe getting the assist. His link-up play, he's becoming what it was last season, 3 wins out of 4, as we said on the previous video. I said if he wins 3 games, they can go to 9th. Well, I was 1 place out. They're now 10th. Scott, they're 2 points behind Wolves. We were bantering this club, Villa, a month ago. They were, I think, 2 points above relegation at the time. They'd lost 5 in a row under Dean Smith. We were flying high. We'd won 4 out of 5, not lost in 7 games. And now we're 2 points ahead.
Well, I think you've just shown there, firstly, that once again, you got a prediction wrong with them sitting in 10th and not 9th. But no,
I'm 1 place out.
Throw that in there. but yeah, and that's it, isn't it? And I feel when you look at the games that us as Wolves fans have got coming up and compared to the fixtures Villa have coming up, look, we're looking over our shoulder. I don't think we'll be looking over the shoulder for very long, unfortunately. I think we'll be looking at them going in front of us very soon. And, I think it's one of them, isn't it? The football they're playing, and that we're going to talk a bit about the staff that they've brought in as well. And I think that's evident from, obviously at the weekend, Conser actually thanking the set piece coach. It doesn't just feel that Steven Gerrard has brought in, the class from himself, and he is demanding the most. There was an incident yesterday where the Villa right back, his name's gone out of my head, but he put in a ball, and that was after a really good run of set play, a really good run of play from Villa. But the cross itself just it went over everyone. and went out for a throw-in. And Gerrard was just there demanding more. He, even though it was a superb build-up play, he wants the whole package, and he's going to be relentless. And I think the staff he's brought in too, they're going to keep on tweaking these players and getting the very best out of them.
Absolutely. He's brought 5 staff members from Rangers. Obviously, the high-profile name is Gary McAllister, and I mean, what a player he was. He's meant to be a really nice guy as well. You can talk to him on a personal level as though, he's a friend of yours. He takes real minute care and details of players. He notices little things from what I've seen and heard people say. I think that means a lot to anyone in life, even your boss at your job. If he notices something really small and says, oh, I saw you came in 3 minutes early today, well done. That kind of stuff means a lot to you. And they've also got, I think his name's Scott Mason, their lead analyst. He's another member of staff he brought from Rangers, and who Rangers actually spoke to Gerrard, I heard, and wanted to keep him specifically. They wanted to keep Mason there. He is the lead analyst. Apparently, the detail again that he goes in is unbelievable. He has kept 3 of Dean Smith's coaching staff on. Of course, a lot left with Dean Smith. One thing that's come out as well is apparently Gerrard's backroom staff go into more detail on the training pitch and, of course, in the meeting rooms, watching the videos, etc. Gerrard's backroom staff go into more detail than Dean Smith did himself.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's, that was something that's come out that's obviously very interesting. But it's like everything. I think I've seen people throw the fact that Gerrard's only doing well because of this backroom staff, etc. I've actually seen people throw that out. But in all walks of life, it don't matter if we're on about football, business, or, anything really. If you surround yourself by the right people, then that's always going to be down to your success. And he's put himself the right tools, the right team behind him to implement this success. You can really see that the players are behind him as well. You saw that at full time, how they wanted to embrace him, how he was embracing the players. I think that in itself has gone really well for him. And you talk about the other staff, and they are really important because we saw how big a deal it was when Jurgen Klopp lost his number 2 a few years ago. Liverpool did have a moment where they did drop off, and yes, he has rectified that, but for a short period of time, and people may forget, but there was a short period of time where it was wondering if Klopp was actually going to succeed without him. So it is really important to have the right people behind you. But questions are going to have, I'm going to, I suppose, be the devil's advocate. Is that the right thing? Maybe it is.
It is.
People will say it's been a positive start, but it's not the first positive start that a new manager has made. Do you see this lasting long term, and where do you think Villa could potentially finish this season?
I'm going to go out there now and say it. That I think they get Europe. I think they finish in the top 7. That's how highly I rate Steven Gerrard. Did you? One thing I want to say quickly as well, and this just goes into everything else. If we're talking specifically about Gerrard, first thing he did when he came into the club, he's banned fizzy drinks. He's banned desserts. He's banned hot chocolate, amongst other things. He's also banned ketchup. You go back to Fabio Capello, I think, at the World Cup in 2006. He pissed off half the England squad because he banned ketchup. I think it was Ben Foster who said it on like a podcast. Or Gerrard's doing these kinds of things. I think they get Europe. I really do. I said he'd smash it when he came in. We both did. And I think we've been vindicated so far. Listen, he might lose his next 2. You never know. But there's something about this man that tells me he's going to go to the very, very top. He won Champions Leagues and trophies with a dead Liverpool team. Who's winning a Champions League with John Arne Riise and Milan Baros up front? It takes a certain character. I don't see them letting up. I don't see them conceding many goals. I see them scoring goals. I think they're only going to get fitter. I think they're going to get more well-oiled. You made a good point on our last Villa video only 2 or 3 weeks ago about his formations at Rangers. He loves to play that 4-3-3, the 4-3-2-1, as you mentioned. That's another tool that Villa now have in their arsenal. Because Dean Smith never changed it up too much, and when it did, you always wondered if the players knew what they were meant to do.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And I think it's an interesting one. Obviously, I don't think the players are going to be too happy maybe about a ketchup ban. But look, if they're given an option of dry chicken and dry chicken and Europe, they'll probably take that over some ketchup.
And dry chicken. That's it, Villa fans. That's the headline. Dry chicken and Europe awaits.
Dry chicken and Europe awaits. No, I think he'll take that, and they'll take that rather. And I think it's an interesting one, as you say. They're definitely looking already, but like they're improving. I mean, the one thing that I would say that I noticed, particularly against the game at Leicester, is that sometimes the pressing hasn't connected quite yet. There was a couple of times where they did get caught out, and I felt that Leicester, maybe if they'd been a bit more clinical, maybe could have, got themselves a goal. But at the same time, Villa had chances themselves, which they perhaps being more clinical also could have took. So it's definitely swings and roundabouts with that. And the one thing I really do like is the fact that he is playing the youth as well. It's not to say that Dean Smith didn't do that, but Gerrard's continued to give the youth opportunities, obviously playing Ramsey. There was another young lad that came late on, and that was to hold out a win, wasn't it? That another young lad that he brought on late on in the game against Leicester. So he's also giving youth an opportunity, and at the moment it does look like a full package. I mean, a week and a half ago we said that Wolves could perhaps push for Europe. We haven't. We then drew to Burnley and Norwich, and we also ended up losing, obviously, at the weekend. Unfortunately, it does look like Villa could take our place. I wouldn't disagree with you in saying that it wouldn't surprise me if Villa are definitely up there challenging, or maybe they might go for a cup.
Well, we're 2 points ahead of Villa now as Wolves fans, and our next couple of fixtures include Brighton, Man City, Chelsea. So, we haven't got the easiest running. I'm not too sure on Villa's, but I doubt it's any harder than Man City and Chelsea, and then Liverpool at the weekend, who we lost to. Scott, I'm going to go out and say I don't see how Villa fail, because I don't see Gerrard failing. That's the most important thing. I don't think Gerrard will fail. So, I can't think of the saying, but because Gerrard is the manager, that's it. I can't even talk about it, because agree. This is awful being a Wolves fan. Like, honestly.
Yeah, I shall sign it off, because I could just tell that you were completely done in with the fact of Gerrard being Villa manager. So guys, help us out. If you're a Villa fan, feel sorry for us. Hit that subscribe button. Give the video a like. And hopefully we'll keep looking over our shoulders at you, but I don't think that'll last too long.
We just got to predict them to win the league so they go down, because that's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah, we've cursed you. Thank you.